It's been about 180 days since I last did a review. And that would be the Curry Rain Storm Collectibles. It wasn't a planned hiatus. I've been playing video games and I just haven't felt like posting. There's really nothing else to it. No crazy life events or anything like that. I wasn't feeling it, man. It was an unannounced hiatus, I guess. But you would think since it's been such a long time, I would do like a special review, because I got a bunch of stuff that I've gotten since I last, did a review. I have a whole stock of pretty cool imports, whatever. This is what I was going to do next, and I'm still doing it next. That's been the whole plan the entire time. Multiple times I have thought about doing reviews and never got around to it. But every time I was like, when I do it, it's gonna be Knuckles. So here he is from Sonic 3. Jakks specific. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of the brand. I'm not even a big fan of Sonic. I haven't even seen these movies. I've just always thought Knuckles was cool, and he's red. That's it. But it's got a little blister card package, nothing much to it, but it's a cool little image in the back. I do need to watch these movies. I've heard good things about them. I've just never been a big Sonic fan. But it's got a small little bio on the back, similar to like how Hasbro does. Actually, no, Hasbro doesn't do bios anymore. But not a bad looking figure. I'm interested to see how his articulation is going to be, but not bad packaging at all. Also, I like the way they do the eyes. I don't know why they do that, but that's interesting. But let's go ahead and run them through the little IDEF system. Is the figure in good shape? Does the figure function as intended? Everything that's included with the figure, plus scaling, and then just my final thoughts. Usually a little pose at the end when I'm talking about it too, unless I forget. Alright, and here he is out of package, and is the figure in good shape? And, I always give him a look over before I really even put him on camera and stuff, but honestly, the only thing I complain about is there's like kind of a little speck on his nose. Like, that's not just a shine. But nothing else I'd really complain about. Like, if you look on his boot, there's a little bit of paint swatch on there, but like, I don't really care. Like, I think I paid like $14.99 for him. Like, I'm not gonna nitpick him. Like, and that's pretty easily fixable. Like, you could Sharpie that and probably be okay with it for quite some time. But yeah, I would say he's in pretty good shape. Like, there's just not really anything wrong with him. Yeah. Look at him. Looks pretty damn good, I will say. I'm just gonna say that now. He needs better articulation, but he looks pretty damn good. But I guess, does the figure function as intended? Sorry, I haven't done this in a while. He functionally has almost no head articulation, just because of the hair and also because of the way the neck is designed in there, which is crazy because it almost looks like it's a double ball peg. So I don't know if maybe it's stuck and maybe he does have a little more head articulation, but as far as I can tell, he has almost none. But getting to his arms, they go pretty high. They might even go higher if the hair wasn't in the way. And then they have like some sort of little butterfly in there. It's not much, but it's there for sure. And also, if you set his arm right in a certain way, like, his arm will go in a little bit more, which is, it's nice that they thought about that because of the design. He does have a bicep swivel. Now, if you line it up the way it's supposed to, he gets about a perfect 45, or I think it's a 90. Damn, whatever, don't judge me. But yeah. It's like a perfect right angle, maybe a little bit more. Something I don't like is this is all twisty right here. I think it twists on both ends, which is kind of a nightmare. As far as I can tell, this doesn't twist, but his wrist does. But it's on like just a hinge, so it can't go up and down. And then look at that. For having mitts, I don't mind having an opening hand. Otherwise, though, I think it looks really bad. But for this, it works perfectly. Like, and his hand is like, hold on, it doesn't need to, but I'll be right back. Yeah, like, he can hold a sword, bro. That's pretty dope. In case anyone's wondering, that's the McFarlane designed Wonder Woman sword. It's one of the only cool things about that figure. Not that Wonder Woman isn't cool, it's just a terrible figure. But that's not what this video is about. Sorry, I got a little carried away there, but so he's got an ab crunch, or let's just call it a back crunch, and you'll see why. He goes back decently far. Let's say that's about neutral position. He doesn't really crunch forward. Get that one out of the way. He's got a little bit of side to side though. And then obviously you can turn, which that's, if you're wanting him to look somewhere, that's what you're going to have to rely on right there, by the way. How does he kick? I haven't actually, you know what? That's not a bad kick at all, to be honest. Like, that's a pretty damn decent kick. Oh, you know what? I guess, why not? You got to do a split test. Let's review. Sorry, those joints are a little loose, so I wasn't trying to push them too hard, but not a bad split at all. There's just nothing to say, like, it's not bad. And then his leg joint is about the exact same as the elbow. Not bad. It's also got the swivelly stuff going around with the joint, which is good and bad. The ankle doesn't have its own independent twist, so you have to use that for it, so... And I think it would work, honestly. I haven't posed him around too much, but I think it would do its job. Here's the thing. I know Knuckles is also fast, but I know speed isn't, like, his main thing. But, like, you still need him to do running poses. And, like, I'm not saying you're not going to be able to get him in some, but his ankles just got nothing, man. He does have a pivot, which doesn't do much, but it's nice that he does have it. But, yeah, that's kind of bad. But, okay, despite that, I will say for being a Jakks specific, it's pretty good. I'm kind of impressed with him. I'm not a fan of their brand. I've gotten a few of their stuff, and I just did not like them. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be posing the crap out of this figure, and who knows how long I'll keep him, but he is pretty cool, and I think he does look really good. Like, for, like, an import company, this would be a good template to design him off of. But, I would say he functions as intended for the most part. He doesn't come with anything, so that's everything that's included. Like, that's him right there. I also don't really have any relevant figures to scale him with. So, I'm not even gonna cut right now. I got Chester Cheetah with him, because they're both anthropomorphic. Is that the right word? Anthropomorphized animals? I don't know, man. I can't remember, but that's, if you got this, that's your scaling. Who else are you gonna put him with? You know what? Oh, here, hold on. I got a few. Here he is with this tall ass Ben Reilly, or Scarlet Spider. I like the scaling. I'm assuming these are supposed to be like 1/12 scale, so that's how I'd imagine him looking next to Spider-Man, low-key. Technically, he's supposed to be the same height, but he's... nobody talks about this, but this figure is dope, but he's too tall for Spider-Man, man. If you put him next to other Spider-Man figures, he's a little too tall, but, yeah. And here he is with Power, because she's also, like, a side character, and I don't know. She likes to fight. And she's in SH Figures, so there's a couple different brands. I just didn't really have anything to scale him with. Sue me. You know, I feel like this is kind of how I default for the last pose for a speedster character, but, like, I'm not good at running poses, I'm not gonna lie. He's holding it, though. I will say, though, this goes for every Jakks-specific toy I've handled. Their joints loosen up extremely quick. Even then, they still will somehow hold poses in certain contexts, but, like, they're not durable figures. They're just not. But, overall, especially if you can get them for super cheap, and you like Sonic and stuff, like, he's definitely worth picking up. I want to say I got him for, like, $14.99 at GameStop or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but, he's alright. If I ever get back into posing, I'll definitely pose him, but, he's neat. You can definitely do some cool stuff with him, but, he's for sure limited. He could definitely be better. And, you know, now that I'm thinking about that, has any company, like import company, taken the IP or anything? Like, is that going to happen? Not that I'm interested personally, but I'm just curious. But I think that's it. He's an alright figure. If you can get him on discount, and you, yeah, like I said, you're into Knuckles or Sonic, whatever, definitely pick him up. But if you're not, and you're not trying to crowd up your stuff, you don't need him. Like, he's not gonna change your life or perspective on figures or anything. But I think that's it. I will try to start posting again, but who knows? Maybe this will be the last one I post for like 7 more months. I don't know, man.